I'm gonna give you 3 entry models to improve your trading setup using CRT trading. So pay attention to this video. As I promised, here is the video about entry models. But before I show you and review all the 3 entry models that you can use on your trading, I have one more request for you guys. If this video in the channel we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are now currently 160. If we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will drop you a model that works every single day, right? An easy model that works every single day. So don't forget to subscribe in this video, subscribe this channel, and like the video, that I can drop you a model that works every single day. It's the only pay I request for you guys. You don't have to pay me nothing. I will give you this model for free. Just subscribe the channel. Let's make this channel hit 1,000 subscribe. I will drop you the new model. Okay? So, no further ado, this is the entry model video. So pay attention, grab your pen and paper and note everything I'm gonna tell you. Listen very carefully. Okay? I'm gonna give you 3 entry models. There are more than 3, but in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 easy entry models. And the last one is the entry model that I like the most because it's the easiest and the more um, certified way to get in the trade, right? So the first entry model is order blocks, right? Order blocks. And if you don't have seen the video about order blocks, I will leave the link in description so you can mark the correct order blocks in your chart, right? So stop this video, get to the video, the order block video, the link in description, and then come back here and see the entry model about order blocks, right? So the order block concept is basically when the manipulation occurs in your chart, right? Makes an order block and then change the state of delivery and retest the order block. This is the entry model number 1, right? The entry model number 2, fair value gaps. The same thing. The entry model number 3, well, it's something that I really enjoy. It's inverse fair value gaps. And I'm gonna show you in the chart examples, live examples, right? I don't like the PowerPoint or something like pre-settle. It's just I see some examples here and I'm gonna show you all the examples that I separate for you guys to understand how I think and how I get into a trade, right? So understand something. These examples that I took here is examples that have no context in general. But for do your trades, you have to have context to your trades, right? Do the correct key levels, correct bias, and for this, you need to see the other video that I dropped last week, the CRT video. Also, the link is in description. So don't forget to see the video about CRT because it's very important for you to know where do your trades, right? So in a quest of the example, I'm gonna show you these trades. So first thing, we have 2 entry models here. You need to understand one thing. In a trade, like in a trade situation, you keep in mind your several entry models, right? You have more than one entry model. You don't need to stick like one entry model. You can have a lot of entry models and use what fits you the most in that each trade, right? Because every trade is a trade, and maybe some opportunities don't come up and show up in one trade or come and show in another. So you gotta keep in mind that you have like a toolkit of entry models that you can use in every trade opportunity, right? So here we have a trade opportunity. We have the purge of liquidity right here. And what we have here? Well, we have this order block, right? The first thing we have is this order block. It's easy to see this order block right here, this guy, right? You always can see this guy. right? So let me raise this for you guys to see the order block entry model. Here is the first one, right? So when you're going to do your entry in the order block model, so you wait for the price break off the order block. So you expecting the price move lower, right? So you purge this high, you're expecting the price to distribute lower, right? So you're expecting a short. So you wait for the price comes and close below the order block in this case, right? Close out of the order block, and then you're going to take it in the retest of the order block, right? In this case, you're going to take the retest right here, stop above. Always the stop is above the old high or old low the market creates, right? It's simple. And your target's probably the next liquidity, right? Simple. Uh, so the target's some more personal issue because you can target more high time frames targets or low time frames target, but you have to understand your target. It's always about liquidity. You have to aim some liquidity pool for your targets. Okay, so in this case, you can aim here or you can aim here. Is the same, right? You're gonna get the same trade, right? So this is one kind of entry. The other kind of entry on order blocks is you for wait desist, right? Change state of delivery. In this case, is this little guy here is your sys, right? You have the sys right here, change state of delivery. You wait for this change state delivery occurs, and then you get your retest short right here, right? In this case, you can assume, right? This high here is a protected high because already broke the sys, right? So the state of delivery, the price changed for bearish. So it's no reason for the price to take out this high here because we already throw super high, right? So you can take your stop right here. It's more risky. I prefer this high, right? It's more safe, but it's up to you. In these cases, when you already have the sys, right, you can drag your stop to internal liquidity, right? Because there's no reason to price to come back here in this internal liquidity, right? So you have this two choices, okay? Order block entries. So retest it, closing out, retest, short. Wait for the sys, retest the order block, short, right? Pretty simple. The other entry we got here is the fair value gap entry. In this kind of entry, I like to wait the sys. Okay, I don't take any trades, fair value gap trade without the sys. So I wait the change the state of delivery, and then from here I place my order right here, right here. Stop above equal the same way, or in this case you can do this internal liquidity. It's fine too, but don't ever take your stop like this. Okay, don't ever do this shit because fair value gaps is liquidity, is internal liquidities. So it's been liquidated. It's going to be liquidated, right? Don't do this. Put your stop loss above this high or above the external liquidity. Okay? Don't do this. Don't ever do this, okay? Thank you. Have good trades. So in this case, I wait for the sys and take the short, right? Okay, fair value gaps is pretty simple. I guess it's the most simple of the all three. The second most simple is the order block, and then we going to have some inverse fair value gaps as well. But I'm gonna show you more up ahead. So in this case, we have the same scenario. We have order blocks, right? And with the order blocks, we have the sys, which occurs when the price breaks the order block as well. Okay, so here we have the sys, right? Change the state of delivery. The price change the state of delivery, right? And close out of the order block, right? So we put your order here, wait for the price tapped in, stop below this low, right? And your target is the next liquidity pool in whatever time frame you're looking. Okay? So should like this. Simple, right? Pretty simple. Okay? More examples. Fair value gaps, order blocks. I gonna leave the inverse fair value gaps for the end because I want to show you something special about this, guys. Same thing here, right? But desist, in this case, change the state delivery right here. So it doesn't come back. Okay? Doesn't come back. Oh, sorry, no. Change the state delivery. This no, this here. This here. Sorry. I thought I had seen this. No, that's totally fine. So in this case, the fair value gap didn't activate, right? Didn't activate because well, the price doesn't come back, and it happens, right? You have your fair value gap right here, but the price didn't come back. You do have the order block, right? Because the order block we have is here. You have the order block here, right? This guy, order block. And we break out of the order block. Close out of the order block. Like, see, you have turtle soup this high, turtle soup it. Like, expect the price push lower. So this is the order block. This is the candle which pairs the turtle soup. I explained the video about order blocks. Okay, go see it. So once the price close out, you can take it on the retest, right? Pretty simple, pretty straight. Stop above and target the next liquidity. You can do it here, you can do it here, or you can do it here, right? It's up to you. Okay. Well, so inverse fair value gaps. We have two examples. This is my favorite. Well, we have another one, the fair value gaps right here. So let's take a look into really quickly. So we have our cyst right here, right? Together with the order block. So I have our cyst, we have the retest, fair value gap, we have the retest of the order block, short here, right? Stop above and target next liquidity. Here, simple. Okay, perfectly. Don't take your stop here. Okay, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, stop above the high or some internal liquidity, which in this case we don't have it. So inverse fair value gaps, my favorite, and I think is the best because you don't have like a wait for SISD or something like that. You just can. Oh, I'm gonna show you. So you do have both here. We have inverse fair value gap right here, and we have the order block right here. So I'm gonna mark the order block for you guys, right? And we have the inverse fair value gap here. So the thing with the inverse fair value gap is once the price close out, break out the fair value gap, you can enter. Okay, it's the trigger. Okay, pay attention to this. Once the price breaks out and close out of the fair value gap, you can enter. Okay, you don't wait to need to retest it. So you can enter right here, stop here, below the low, right, and target the liquidity right here. Okay, in this case you have both. You have inverse fair value gap and you have the order block. So you can wait for the SIS, change the state delivery right here, and take the order block, retest right here if it makes you more comfortable, right? It's definitely fine. Actually, in this candle, or you can take the inverse fair value gap. So the cool thing about the inverse fair value gap, you don't need to wait for SIS or market structure shift or anything about that. You just closing out, you can enter long or short. Depends to what you're looking for. But it's kind of this. You don't need to retest the inverse fair value gap, right? Also, you can taking the retest of the fair value gap, but I prefer to take in when it closes, right? So we have the other example right here, right? This is a retest. So turtle soup here, right? Turtle soup. We creating this order block, okay? Create this order block. And once we close out, you can take your trade here, right? But the risk to rewards is pretty bad in this case, right? Or you can take in the retest. You need to notice that in this kind of retest right here, the order block is the same as the inverse fair value gap, right? So you can take on the retest of the order block because it's within the inverse fair value gap, right? So you have to this option too. Okay, so you have order blocks, you have fair value gaps, and you have inverse fair value gaps. Order blocks, wait for the candle close out, taking the retest, right? Fair value gaps, wait for the structure shift or the change in state of delivery, whatever you want to call it, and then taking the retest, right? And inverse fair value gaps, just wait for the price, break out, right? Close out, and then take a trade. If you want to take the retest, okay, it's valid too, but you have this advantage of inverse fair value gaps that you don't miss trades, right? So guys, the video about entries, okay, if you mastering these 3 entry models, it's hardly for you to miss a trade, right? You can entry in almost every single trade. Of course, you need to have context in your trades in the CRT context, right? So if you don't see the video about CRT, just click in the description of the video and see the video of CRT, right? If you don't see the video about order blocks and how correct to mark the order blocks, see the video about order blocks, it's in description as well. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoy and have good trades.